guys, good morning. Today is Tuesday, May 21st, and we just showed you some B-roll from earlier in the month of the peonies opening and a few flowers that we didn't want to miss out on, so we wanted to keep you caught up on that. But this morning I am trying to just mentally recover from the last 2 weeks of planting everything out, and I'm about to walk around and assess the way everything looks, how it's been holding up since it's been planted out. I'm planning on planting out the last few things that remain that I just didn't find a spot for. So I thought you might want to take a little walk around the garden with me and see what's growing and how everything's progressing. One of the things I wanted to highlight for you were all of these plants that I created for the pots that are specifically for the pollinators. This is Oriental Nights Sweet Alyssum. I'm so happy I decided to grow this from seed. I think this one might be from Botanical Interest or Baker Creek. They're my two. Grows very easy, looks very pretty popping out of the pot, and I anticipate that it's going to trail down. Many of these pots have Gomphrena, Gazania, all sorts of stuff. These are the dahlias that are from Botanical Interest, again, that I started from seed. And I can see that I have a little tiny bud forming in there. Bad lighting angle for that one. And in this pot, I have a Mexican sunflower filled with parsley, dill, fennel. There's all kinds of goodies in here, and I have to say that the butterflies have been going crazy, hanging all around it and tapping their tails on it. So I know that they are laying eggs. I have some orchid cream nasturtium planted in this pot that I'm hoping will come out and trail down. Again, lots of varieties of parsley and things of that such. Now, I don't know if you remember when I brought Gwenifay home from TJ Maxx. I absolutely love her, my little winged guardian of the garden. Her new official title is Gwenifay, Guardian of the Flutter. And she is sitting here at the butterfly garden waiting for all of the eggs to hatch, so patiently soaking up the sun. But I anticipate this area here is going to be not just a magnet for the butterflies when it blooms, but it's full of eggs. Every day the black butterflies have been coming and laying eggs in all of the fennel and dill on this side as well. So if you're looking for an area where you want to put stuff in a pot, this Mexican sunflower is getting very tall. I will need to stake it. Again, everything that's in here is things that the caterpillar itself needs to eat to feed while it's growing. So I made sure to give them plenty of places to feed, and hopefully the Mexican sunflower will get some buds on it soon. I'm really very excited to see what happens. There's also some Gazania, some snapdragons, some nasturtium, lots of varieties in these. The lighting was so beautiful just a few moments ago. Now the sun is out at a weird angle with some haze, so not good. But here is Tiny Tim Sweet Alyssum. This one for certain is Botanical Interest. Again, grew really, really easy. More dahlias. Can't wait to see what color they're going to be. Over here I have Love Lies Bleeding Amaranth. It's going to get, these little red buds are going to come out into big red tassels. I have Gomphrena stuffed in these pots. All just everything is mixed in. Everything's gonna have flowers, and it's all going to spill over. And this is going to be zinnias and nasturtium. These are more of a sunflower type of zinnia. There's Persian carpet and Macarena. Then here I just sowed some seeds to see what happened. In this area I direct sowed some cardinal vine. You can see what this looks like when it comes up. Didn't soak it, didn't do anything to it. Just put the seeds right in the pot. You can see them unfolding still. This is going to go inside of the giant obelisk that we bought from Gardener Supply. And I started another pot for the second one. In these empty pots, I started some Gazania And some verbena. Looks like the gazania wants to pop out already. These are the petunias from Swallowtail. Again, they're beautiful. I don't know why I paid so much money for them though. They just seem like basic petunias, and they have zero fragrance. They were supposed to be highly fragrant. So you live and learn with that, you guys. But they are really very pretty. Again, the amaranth is doing really well in the pots. I have yarrow growing, all just wonderful butterfly magnet for feeding, for the caterpillar and the butterfly itself. Over here we have tropical milkweed. There is tropical milkweed through most of these pots. Can't wait to see when the butterflies actually come to the flowers. So nice to see my snapdragons again. They are suffering from some sort of a disease, and I think it's rust. So I've had to rip several plants out already, and I'm very sad because the colors are just incredible. But my hollyhocks had some rust to a slightly different description. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up and see if it actually is rust on the snapdragons. Let me take you to another flower. So these are the snapdragons that overwintered, because again, these are perennial. I mean, it looks like some sort of a rust. It almost looks like an aphid. I don't really know what it is. So if we have any snapdragon or disease aficionados out there, and you can tell me what's happening with my beautiful snapdragons, because I really don't want to continue ripping these plants out. The flowers are so magical, and I love looking at them. I love when the bees come and nestle themselves in. So hopefully it's a disease that I can get under control. Here's new this year is bachelor's button that I sowed from seed while it was still winter. I have a lot of really beautiful shades popping up. Has an interesting texture to its leaves. Wow, look at this snapdragon. Every time you come out, it's that time of year where you see something different every time you come out. Some of this should be larkspur, but it looks like nigella. So I don't really know if this is larkspur or nigella. I know for certain that this is nigella, which I can't wait to see. I have some cosmos in here, some red fire salvia, again, all from seed. Leatris from Quorums from last year. So I have to wait and see whether this is going to be larkspur or nigella. So very close to finding out though. So again, here's some hollyhock showing some sort of rust. So I'm never going to grow hollyhocks again. They're getting ripped out. Once they bloom, I'll have to come out and prune these leaves again, but I just, they're beautiful, but I just can't have it going on if we're going to be susceptible to rust. But this sage, oh my goodness. I started this from seed. The plant didn't take. I dumped the dirt in this area last year just to recycle the dirt, the soil, and the sage ended up coming up anyway, and it gave me these beautiful magical flowers, same as over by the aviary. So I'm going to try to grow more of these because now I'm obsessed with this sage flower. So here we are, you guys, back in the main garden. Carrots are popping. Every tomato is planted. Everything looks to be doing good so far. I have been harvesting endless amounts of lettuce. Look, I had big leaves growing this year because I kind of left them alone a little bit longer before I started doing the cut and come again method, where I just harvest the ones that I need. And the brassicas are actually doing pretty good this year. It doesn't seem like the leaves are being assaulted yet, and I'm not really sure why. I had one that got eaten by a slug. We do have some kind of assassin bugs that have arrived, but look how nice the leaves look. And I have been pulling broccoli heads. So I'm going to get this broccoli out of here today because it's just the perfect weather for cabbage loopers. And then I'm just not going to worry about what else is growing. So we still have lots of weeding to do. Again, are you guys getting inundated with massive amounts of weeds this year? We just can't seem to get it under control. But we have been consumed with so many other really exhausting things. So most of the tomatoes look absolutely fantastic. This one here was under stress. This is an Amish paste from MI Gardener, but these are older leaves, and this is while it was still in the pot and I couldn't get them potted out fast enough. So next year I am committing to starting everything later in the year so that we don't have this kind of suffering and stress on the plants. But you can see I have flowers. So lined up here I have giant crimson. So I think I sowed 3 seeds, only 2 showed up, but this plant actually crashed pretty bad when I planted it out. So I'm surprised to see that it actually recovered. So it looks like I have some suckers to prune already. They all want to have suckers. Not really sure what the growing habit of the giant crimson is going to be, but 6 Parks Whoppers are lined up. Bonnie Best looks like a good hardy plant, and it is surpassing the Parks Whopper. So hopefully I'm going to find something that's going to grow like the Parks Whopper used to, which we loved so much. But wow, yeah, Arkansas Traveler is looking good. Classic Beef, Abe Lincoln. 2 types of Hungarian heart back here. The pink ox heart from MI Gardener, and then the regular Hungarian heart from Baker Creek. So the tomatoes are looking excellent. I did have another overflow bed that I can show you, and every single one of these cosmos here are volunteers that I've been going around pulling out of the ground. So these are all going to be like a surprise. So you can see how many volunteers you get with cosmos. And my Roma tomatoes are looking better than ever in these new beds that John threw together off the cuff. But you can see the Romas are looking incredible. They do have flowers already. So it looks like we're gonna have, you know, a good start to tomato season. I feel like I did a good job getting everything started. Now we just have to wait and see what's gonna happen with the earth itself. So this cattle panel area has been here, and we've been just trying different things on it. So this year we had to create a quick bed, and we utilized the end of it for overflow tomatoes. So I have 2 Bonnie Best over there, and over here I did a Dr. Witchy's and the other Bonnie. So hopefully, I know Dr. Witchy's will climb up this panel, you know, very eagerly. And then over here I have some different basil varieties: cinnamon, lime, lemon. The Megatron jalapeno, which came late in the season from Botanical Interest, are supposed to be these gigantic jalapenos. Pepperoncini, wow, this pepperoncini scared me so badly. I came out one day while it was still in its pot and it was completely collapsed. It looked like it was dead. So I promptly took all the flowers off of it and all of its lower leaves, gave it a big drink, and it came right back. Over here we have the Daytill for everyone in the world who received free Daytill peppers from Baker Creek. They're coming along nicely. And some overflow of shishito and nadapenos. So we are already getting peppers. Very, very exciting. Look at the cornfield. Corn is up, you guys. Looking really good. Looks like everything germinated. So we're very, very excited about that. And it's such weird lighting. I was hoping that I wasn't going to have to water today, but it looks like I'm going to have to get my hat on after all, because it was overcast, and get to watering, because the beans are popping that I did in one of the last videos. Can't wait to taste some of these guys. So corn and beans. We have a few melons over here. Lots and lots of weeds. Now these melons, very temperamental. This is an area of melons that I harvested the seed from store-bought melons. Now, I saved a whole load of the seeds. They're doing really good. So if you buy a melon in the store, just save the seeds if you love it, and let them dry, and then store them for next year. Today I have to plant zucchini and squash. So we have so much going on. You can see the garden is full. Have eggplants here mixed in with the borage, which is supposed to keep some of the pests away. Gosh, I can't believe everything had such a big drink yesterday and it's already thirsty. The borage has a lot of bees in it. And this borage, again, I planted this giant like borage shrub last year. So the bees love it, so we just left alone when we came back. But we have Rosita eggplants, Listata degandia eggplant, which is a new variety for us this year. Some Caspers, some different basil. I think this one is purple opal basil. Lots and lots of peppers. So these peppers are doing really great. Now some of them, like this one here, suffered because the leaves were hitting the lights when I still had them inside on their shelves. But they're recovering nicely. We have banana peppers that started already. Lots and lots of banana peppers. So I think I have 6 of those. This is a new variety here called Coral Bells, doing really good. Another new variety called Sunbright, doing really good. From, where are these from? I was gonna say I think they're from M.I. Gardner, but I think they are. They might be botanical interest. Over here I separated these potato leaf varieties. Can't seem to get rid of my shadow here, you guys, sorry. The potato leaves are problematic. Now, Brandywine Pink is a beautiful, wonderful tomato, but it does bring a lot of blight into the garden, so this year I isolated them, as well as German Pink. So doing really good. Again, we had some leaf damage. This is not blight. This is from when they were hitting the lights while they were still growing inside. You can see the new growth is beautiful and pristine. Flowers already, so super excited about that. And over here, all of the Jersey Devils, some more purple opal basil. Let's see, are we getting any flowers on these guys yet? Terrible lighting today, guys. If I didn't do this tour today, I wouldn't have done it at all because we're so busy. I'm gonna give you a quick recap on what's going on. This is all Nadapeños and Shishitos. So we do eat that many. I usually come out in the summer and pull at least 50 peppers a day and cook them up fresh. Now, one of them I had a full-grown pepper. Let me find it. Here's one of the plants. Has some nice sized Shishitos on it. Super exciting. Now this area here is keystone resistant. Everything is grown from seed, you guys. I'm certain for those of you who have been here already know that. Keystone resistant is from a plant that I bought at the farm garden several years ago. It just keeps coming back, grows very easy. You see I've got some baby peppers on that one already. We have California Golden Wonder with a nice big baby on there. And then over here we have the Parks Whopper 2 pepper, which I anticipate is going to do well. You can see it's got some nice size peppers coming up on that already as well. And then over here we have all of the giant Marconis, Jimmy Nardellos, Cubanea, doing great. So hard right now because everything just looks like a bunch of pepper plants, but you can see they're all nice and healthy. Over here I have Amish Paste and San Marzano Lungo 2. Both of these varieties are from Baker Creek. So I like to separate them and see if they do any better than the Amish Paste and the San Marzanos from M.I. Gardner. So now I'm back on the other side again, and the berries are doing really well. You can see our blackberries are just doing incredible. The net's holding up well. Red raspberries, blueberries. We're getting ready to bring this giant obelisk out so we can plant cardinal vines on it. So it looks like we're going to have just a ton of blueberries this year. Super exciting. And then over here, we just went ahead and added an extra separate piece of netting over the strawberries, and it stopped what was happening, which was the birds, the grackles, were just devouring our strawberries. But you can see we have some nice big red berries all throughout here. I've already harvested what would be equivalent in the store to about, I don't know, maybe $50 worth of strawberries already in just a couple days. So that turned out to be a good move. This area I always love. This is the galvanized beds that we built from Landguard, and they're holding up still wonderful. No sign of rust, you guys. We can attach that video for you with that review. But I planted sort of in the same order. I know I should rotate crops, but I don't really bother with that. Mortgage Lifter looking really healthy. Dr. Witchy's did really well here. Some varieties of Cosmos, Calendula, and Zinnia have been planted in here. Here we have pineapple, which I'm really excited about. This is the first time growing the pineapple tomato. Almost everything has at least a few flowers on it. And then over here we have Kellogg's Breakfast Yellow with flowers. And again, the same Zinnia, Cosmos, and Calendula setup. So I think I should come out and start harvesting some of this wonderful chamomile, because Aki does like chewing on it, and I plan to make some chamomile tea this year. And I'm going to try it different. I usually just pop the heads off and let them dry, but it's harder that way. I think I'm going to cut them deeper on their stem this year and hang them upside down in bundles and let them dry that way. But if I don't get to them soon, the aphids will, and then we won't get any. See, I have the boys out here with me for a little bit of morning fresh air while it's still somewhat cool out here. So it looks like it's going to be a scorcher today, and then we're expecting a big rainstorm on Thursday. We had to reschedule our mulch delivery to Friday, and now they're saying it might overflow into rain on Friday. So we just can't seem to catch a break with finishing up our front wall landscaping project. We've been at it for like 8 weeks. It's an in-depth explanation as to why it's taking so long. It shouldn't have taken this long, but we ran into product problems, we ran into engineering problems, some mistakes were made, and then you just try to backpedal and try to recover without demolishing a whole entire approximately 100 linear feet of natural stone retaining wall, when very frustrating topic. So we're both exhausted over it. And then we have the fact that I am not really injured, but my back is totally out of whack. Hang on for a second. Yeah, so I was explaining in an earlier video that I pulled my back out and I had 2 back braces on. And then it hasn't given me any kind of rest at all. The back refuses to stay in alignment. And then last weekend I started having some knee problems. And then the knee problem evolved to a slipped patella. Now, what's going on is my back is so twisted that it misaligned my pelvis, and so my hips are not sitting in the socket properly. So my hips popped out of alignment. So instead of being straight up and down, my hip is now sitting off in the joint at an angle, which means my knee, my femur connecting to my knee, and my tibia and fibia are out of alignment. So the patella went off to the right. And so all of my soft connective tissues are having problems, and I'm trying to keep everything connected. But my body right now from the waist down is connected like a zigzag. So everything's very fragile. I'm in a lot of pain, and I'm trying to manage everything that you saw me just grow from seed. So I'm constantly in a place of having my breath taken away, and sharp, unexpected pain that will happen that will just immobilize me. So walking around with 2 back braces on and having my knee wrapped up to try to keep everything upright has been a little overwhelming, which means I haven't really been able to help much with the retaining wall. I can't just stand, I can't supervise, because standing on uneven ground is twisting everything out. We're only sleeping for maybe 4 hours a night now, so we're getting less sleep. John totally overslept this morning. I was up down here functioning. I didn't know what he was doing upstairs. Turns out he was sleeping because he was out here weeding until dark last night. Sunday night, we were planting out in the front retaining wall into the dark under moonlight we were working. So we need desperately to take a break for our bodies and our minds and our spirits and our relationship. For those of you who know, when you work, you can't always be on the same page, and that becomes just as exhausting. So anyway, trying to, battle, the things that want to fight with the garden, and try to keep everything pretty, keep everything pruned, keep everything weeded. Once you fall behind just a little tiny bit, you guys, it can become very, very overwhelming. So I want to take this time to just say to those of you who, again, who have been watching our channel, thank you so much for giving us your time on these videos. Also, we want you to know that we understand if you're going through something. Things aren't always what they seem. Something can look so beautiful and perfect and it looks like you don't have any problems, but you do. And for those of you who are especially caregivers, you're taking care of a person in your life, or you're taking care of animals, you're struggling to take care of yourself and you've fallen off your own list, I get it. So, hopefully today, walking through this garden tour gave you a little bit of peace and encouragement to just want to keep going if you're growing the garden, and battle things like rust, which is simple, but it hurts when you see something like that come in. And when tomatoes want to start to fail and everything wants to wilt and everything's thirsty, but you haven't had a drink of water yourself in the day. So keep going, you guys. Keep planting your garden. Stay with it. There will be some reward. It may not be the reward that you're hoping for. Nothing is perfect. There's always going to come a time when you're going to deal with some interruption or an uncomfortable time in your life. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going through a very uncomfortable time in my life. So I know I don't seem the same, and I don't have 1 million subscribers, but I know there are a group of you out there who care about us genuinely. So, I just wanted to give you some insight on that. We are struggling a little bit, but we're going to try to make as much content as we can. For some reason, our videos are not getting put out there. We're seeing other new creators landing all types of views and subscribers, and it gets frustrating when you say, what are we doing wrong? Why is our thumbnail different than theirs? Is theirs better? Is their video better? Is their camera better? What is it? Maybe we're just not likable. We don't really know. So, this is one of the things that has now become a part of our life that we look at and we say, okay, where are we going wrong? How can we do better? How can we be better gardeners and stay with it so we can encourage people who need the encouragement and the inspiration to keep gardening, so that, that's why we're doing it. So, anyway, just knowing that you're watching through to the end is so much inspiration for us. It's how you inspire us. It's how you encourage us. So we hope that you'll stay with us. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for coming on this garden tour with me today. We will be continuing to shoot videos. We just don't know to what extent, but hopefully you'll stay with us while we get through this time. And I'm certain, if nothing else, there are going to be more garden tours, because we have beautiful flowers opening that, of course, we're going to want to share with you. So anyway, guys, I've been yapping long enough. Thanks again for your time, and I hope to see you in the next video.